Hello and welcome to Sheila Lives Out Loud. My name is Sheila Moniga and I'm so thrilled you're on this channel. Please click subscribe and hit notifications. We upload episodes every Monday and I'd like you to be a part of those conversations as they unfold. The year's coming to an end. I can't believe it. It just feels like very surreal, like this year almost didn't happen, but happen it did, and it's still happening, and we still have a couple of weeks left before we wind up operations for 2020 and hopefully usher in a kinder and a safer 2021. But seeing as there's still a few more days left, I thought to myself, let me just have a little bit of a monologue because I haven't had one proper one-on-one chat with you for quite some time, and there's a lot that's been happening, especially concerning the COVID situation right here in Kenya. Thank you, of course, to you for checking out this YouTube channel. I think I let you know the instructions on how you can click subscribe and hit notifications if you haven't done so already. Please do. Feel free to share this video, and it's always nice to hear from you, so drop me a comment in the comment section below. But as I was saying, this year, COVID has really been a game changer for all of us. Some people, it's been the greatest time of life. I don't know how, but for many others, it's been a time of loss. It's been a time of starting all over again. It's been a time of learning to do things right from scratch again. And whatever end of the spectrum you may be on, we can all agree that on matters health, especially in Kenya, a lot can still be done. We had time to prepare. What we did with that time is open for interpretation, and I think I'll leave that as a subject of discussion for another platform. All I want to do is just bring you up to speed with my thoughts a little bit and observations from what I've been seeing, what I've been feeling, and just hopefully encourage you that, in going through this COVID season, it may have felt like whatever problems you were facing were just specific to you. But the truth of the matter is we've all been going through it. It's been a season of learning, like I said, a season of loss. And in many ways, it's applied to all of us, whether it was loss of businesses, whether it was a loss of loved ones, whether it was a loss of health. We have all experienced some form of loss in some shape. And we have to acknowledge that, I remember somebody once telling me that one of the biggest indicators to who you are and where you're going as an individual is being present and being connected to your emotions and your feelings and the reality of where you're living at any given moment. Instead of wishing for tomorrow, you've got to get through today. But you don't even know if you're going to be here till evening, so you've got to get through now. The power of now, because that's all you have. It's this very moment where you're living and breathing, where you're conscious. This is it. This is life. And life comprises many here and nows that we measure in seconds, in hours, in minutes, in years. It all begins with being present for the now. So in as much as we're looking forward to a fantastic 2021, we've still got to get through the next couple of days to wind up 2020. And the only way we're going to do that is by being in the here and the now. So what's the here and now as per COVID this year? Over the past week, we've seen the loss of so many medics, and I'm not going to hold my breath that that's finished. Because let's face it, conversations throughout the year have highlighted that our healthcare workers are right there in the front line. What are we doing to take care of our healthcare workers? Were we ready, even with the time that we spent from March, as soon as the lockdown kicked in? Did we take the right measures? Did we get ready? Did we really put first things first? Or were we just playing lip service? That I will leave to you to decide, but my thoughts and prayers go to so many who've lost their loved ones in this past week, the medics, patients who've been in hospitals. My regards and my sincerest sympathies. It's not easy to lose a loved one, and it's even worse when people who want to grieve with you cannot be there to sit with you because of social distancing issues and the protocols that are in place. So we've still got to keep doing our best, guys. We cannot be taking things for granted anymore. We can't expect somebody to waltz in and save us because clearly personal responsibility is still key. There's only so much the government, I don't even want to bring the government into this. I want to say there's only so much the medics can do. If you're not giving them PPEs, if you're not covering them, if you're not paying them, if you're not hiring enough people so that they can work on rotational shifts, it just means exposure is at an all-time high. And the same people we want to save our lives are the same people who we're sending to the front lines every day with no sort of relief whatsoever. Can we do better? Yes, we can. And I hope and pray that we do, because as this year ends, I don't want to think about the resource that we will, as a nation, have lost in terms of medical knowledge, institutional knowledge in the medical healthcare department. We cannot afford to lose what we already have. And we know it's so little and so precious, this resource. So we've got to hang on to it and we've got to preserve it. And so it boils down to also you and I taking responsibility for our actions. If somebody asks you to put on a mask, don't get offended. Just imagine this person could be positive and they're just trying to ask you, please take care of yourself so that I don't infect you. That's how I've started thinking about wearing masks. It's not about me, it's about them. Think about it that way. That maybe this is the person who's telling you, vaa mask ndio usishikile kitu niko nayo nisikuambukize. We've got to shift our thinking. We've got to shift the perspective in how we're engaging with each other. If we've lasted this long without partying till the break of dawn, a couple more weeks is not going to hurt nobody if it ensures that we've got a safer and healthier 2021. I want to encourage you and let you know that, yes, even as much as it's been a tough week and a tough year, there's still hope. I am one of those people who, yes, life is going to knock you down and push you and shake you and things are going to happen. But if you wake up in the morning and there's breath in your body, then there's still God in control and there's still a plan. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but one thing I'm really going to encourage you about, whether you're a believer, whether you're not, is always trust that there is a plan that's specific to you, a plan that is still for your good, a plan that is still for you living the most and experiencing the most and making a difference in some way. For some, it's going to be really great ways, but for others, it will be very small things that people won't even remember or even acknowledge. But in the great grand scheme of life, it will be one of the biggest and most wonderful things that anybody has ever done for anyone else. So keep hope alive. Stay inspired, stay strong, don't be discouraged, follow the protocols, and don't stop dreaming. A friend of mine asked me the other day, Sheila, did you give up on your dreams? 5 years ago, what were the big things you were dreaming about? And I started listing them down, and in a list of, let's just pick my top 5, I think I gave up dreaming on about every single one of them. And it was a hard thing to acknowledge. And when tough times happen, it's so easy to stop dreaming because all you're doing is worrying. You know, that waking up at 2 a.m, it's just the worst. Yep, it happens to me too. But even as I speak to myself and I encourage myself to start dreaming again, I want you to do the same. I want you to go back to 5 years ago and your list of the things that you wanted for yourself, that you thought of for your life. Why is that list on a shelf? Why did you choose to look at the worrying things and not that list that gives you such joy when you think about those wonderful things? And I'm not saying that you get lost in la la land and in your dreams, but there's something wonderful about dreams and imagination because that's where creativity begins. That's where inspiration dwells. That's where a very special sort of joy checks in to get through the really tough times like the ones that we are facing. There are bills everywhere, there's illness roaming everywhere, but that doesn't mean you give up on your dreams because what else is there? You know, there's more to life and dreaming is just the best and easiest place to start afresh. So wake those dreams up, let them know you're still boss and there's still a plan even if they don't see it. And let's hope for a safer and a kinder and a more resilient finish to this year. It's been one that's made us think about life differently. I dare anyone to tell me that nothing in their perspective on life or in the way they make their choices concerning life are still the same. Absolutely not. things have changed. And if you're still the same, you got a problem. So look at your dreams and begin to align appropriately. I'm so thankful for your support and your encouragement on all my social media platforms. We've been sharing with you episodes from season 8 of Sheila Lives Out Loud. I think we're going to share one with you, and this one should encourage you to keep active, to stay fit. We're going to be chatting with a fantastic fitness expert. She is such an amazing soul. Her name is Gabriella. She will be showing up in subsequent episodes as we go back to what we recorded back in March of this year. So when that episode shows up, don't catch a feeling like you're telling us to do this, but you're doing that. What's up with this? No, these are episodes we recorded right before lockdown and right before we understood exactly how serious life was about to get. So watch out for that and stay active, stay sane, stay safe, and thank you for your support and your encouragement. I've got one more last note for you before I sign out. About 2 weeks ago, I put out a series, and it was my COVID journey. There was part 1 and part 2. And one of the ladies who spoke to me has a support group. In case you've been diagnosed as COVID positive, because let's just face it, the stigma of COVID still reigns supreme. And if you've just been diagnosed or are going through it and would like to reach out and speak to someone who knows what it feels like, please check out my social media sites, because I'll be uploading her contacts again, just in case you missed them about 2 weeks ago. Stay strong, stay encouraged. Hope is still alive. Wonderful things for you are still coming. I refuse to believe that God has run out of good things for all humanity, for you, for me. No, yes, He has a plan for us. Let's just trust that we're going to see it in our lifetimes. Yes, it's going to come, and keep your dreams and your hopes alive. So I wrap up by reminding you to click subscribe and to hit notifications. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. Stay safe as always, and in everything that you do, live out loud. Bye for now.